exactly did he go from what he recorded to what we can read in some of the published books?
Oh, that's a long way.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Maybe you can help us along that way a little bit.
Yes, a little bit, yes. We might look at one of Bartók's small size, pocket size, collecting books. That's one used relatively early. This is called R2. He had a number of such books. These are, of course, music books.
So this looks, from the languages here, which are a mixture of Romanian and Hungarian, as if these are Romanian tunes that he's collecting.
Yes,
is that right?
Yes. This is the first such book in which he collected systematically Romanian folk songs in 1909. And of course you cannot see any text here. He collected in a different book the text.
So he essentially developed a new system of notation.
Yes, and I don't know that anyone has really focused on that aspect.
Because there seems to be like two categories of notes in terms of importance or definition, perhaps. That the smaller note heads might be something that's just happened completely in passing, and then the larger note head would carry the main melodic impulse in the phrase. But this is really fascinating. I've never seen that before. And then also the key. This is a previously unknown key, of course. It's
I hadn't even noticed that.
There's a flat as an A flat.
An A flat.
A flat, but with an arrow upwards arrows. Our notation is perfectly suited for music like Beethoven and Brahms and Mahler and so on and so forth, but it doesn't always capture what is essential in folk music, because quite often the expression and the whole point of a folk song is the kind of timbre, the sort of color of the voice of the person who sings, and everything that is in between the notes rather than the notes themselves.
So this is what he took down with an ink pen in the field?
Yes, it is an immediate notation, on the field notation.
And was he recording on equipment like this as well? So that was a backup?
Yes, mainly he first notated the melody, and then he made a recording, and perhaps after that he put down the text.
Is there anything else in this little book that we find particularly interesting?
For example, here Bartók marks felvételnél másképpen. It was sung differently when recorded.
Yes. So the tune changes even as the singer sings it again, which is probably what happens in real life with people who aren't trained musicians, sometimes even with people who are trained musicians.
Yes. But there is a flexibility of this material. This was something that fascinated Bartók, this continuous change of the material.
The dance has a fantastic role and the music in this society. Many of the music which Bartók collected and used were dance music. The dance music has a very strong rhythm, very accurate, very precise rhythm. Otherwise, it wouldn't be suitable for dance.
You can find mostly couple dances, but also very ancient circle dances are preserved somehow in the Hungarian culture, and very interesting is the dances of men.
Sometimes they play a little bit asymmetrical rhythms. It's difficult to precisely to write down in a classical way, but if you listen many, many times, you get feel, and if you learn the dance, you know it's absolutely following the move of the dances.
I was wondering, could you show us a little bit on the burger,
The string.
the bass? Yeah.
Yes.
And just explain a little bit how it's
Yes,
constructed.
it's like a classical bass. No, not too much difference. The big difference is between the two techniques that the classical, of course, they use this kind of classical bow, and they make nice sounds. Which is not very seldom they make such a sound in a traditional, because the traditional way is used like a drum. For this kind of noise, which is very ugly in classical music, it's not allowed to make noise. You know that it means that your technique is not good, not sophisticated enough. They need techniques which is for the dance, making the people more happy. And it's very interesting other technique, which sometimes they call, this is the Bartók pizzicato. I don't think it's a Bartók pizzicato, it's a type of pizzicato of a Romanian Hungarian village that they make.
But that's so interesting, because we talk about Bartók as being the person who raised the consciousness of the piano as a percussion instrument. But when
Absolutely.
you're playing that, you can see that's 70% percussion and
Yes.
that's 30% string, isn't
Yes,
it?
yes. It's a percussion instrument, harmony is played, and the melody with the other instruments.
So that was one of the melodies from the Cheek.
Yes,
Melody,
absolutely.
wasn't it? And would that have been played originally? I mean, Bartók heard that in maybe 1906.
Yes,
And would it have been played on an instrument like
on
that?
an instrument like this. Yes.
Yeah.
In this next stage, well, he made a copy, either he or sometimes his devoted wife, Martha Ziegler, who copied hundreds or even thousands of pages. It is now in his own hand. You can see here a penciled notation, which was then heavily revised in ink on the basis of the cylinder. There is a side line, which I would very much like to show you. Yes, I've mentioned this melody where he mentions that the recording is somewhat different. Here is the fair copy, the text written by Bartók himself. This was recorded in 1909, and this is a melody he used to make an arrangement, his very first Romanian arrangement in 7 sketches for piano.
So is that about 1909,
9.
1910?
Yes, around
So
that
very
time.
soon after he collected the
Very
tune,
soon.
he's putting that into his own piano music.
Yes, yes,
Well, that is fascinating to see, and so that then becomes a real piece of music
yes.
that many people will have played. And here we can actually capture its first moment,
Yes,
and then
of
some
course,
of its later moments.
yes, yes. And why it interested Bartók is probably because of the interesting scale of the melody. The A and the D sharp has a tritone relationship, and it's very penetrating in the singing, in the recording, and in the melody and in the piece. So it was something which became a tool for modernist expression.